The World Poker Tour. The biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. The WPT is a series of international high-stakes poker tournaments that can turn amateur players into millionaires and make professionals into superstars. With millions of dollars on the line, it's time for these 6 players to live the dream of fame, fortune, and the one thing money can't buy, a WPT title. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Tonight in Vegas, one of the richest stops on the tour salutes one of the greatest players of all time. The Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic is about to start, so shuffle up and deal.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the jewel of the Las Vegas Strip, Bellagio, for one of the richest and toughest poker tournaments of the year. I'm Mike Sexton.
And I'm Vince Van Patten, and we are here for the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic, and it is honoring the godfather of poker himself, Doyle Brunson, but we're honoring him not just for his name alone, but also for the amazing high caliber of poker we have seen all week and the high stakes that Doyle is so famous for.
Tonight's record-breaking first place prize is well over $2.4 million. And Vince, when you pile up that much cash in Las Vegas, the greats from around the world come out to play, and tonight's final table is indicative of that.
That's right. 2 of those big names, those great players, did make the final table, including WPT champs, the devil himself, David Devilfish Elliott, and the young phenom, Ryan No Doubt Doubt.
Well, those guys are going to have their hands full winning a second WPT title tonight because our 2 chip leaders are 2 tough young pros with a whopping amount of chips.
That's right, but right behind them are 2 amateurs, 2 Cinderella stories living the WPT dream. All right, the players are getting settled into their seats. There are millions on the line. This is going to be a good one coming from Bellagio. Let's go watch them gamble.
So here we go, the final table of the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic about to get underway.
What an adrenaline rush it has to be for these guys going after this life-changing money here at Bellagio.
You're right about that, Vince. This is the largest regular season prize pool in poker history, so you know these guys have got to have butterflies in their stomachs right now.
Very exciting. The antes are going to start at 10,000. The blinds are going to be 40 and 80,000. We have Ryan No Doubt. He is back at the final table here on the World Poker Tour. And he took our Caribbean poker adventure in season 5, but Ryan is on an extreme short stack tonight, and he is down to his last 330,000. How's he going to play it?
We're about to start the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. Action is going to be on Eugene Ketchalov from New York.
Looks down at a jack, 4 of spades, and he folds it quickly.
Ryan Dowd has picked up ace-jack, Vince. And he is going all in with it. Well, Vince, Ryan graduated with a double major in math and computer science. And he told me last night he was doing calculations of the money he's going to shove in. He says, I know I'm going to be going all in within the first 4 deals.
I was just thinking it's about time he did that.
The Devilfish is very clever, very witty. If you can understand him, you'll enjoy him.
Well, he's gone out. Ken Rosen out now.
I'll call.
Around to the coach, Ted Curley, and he has made this call with a pair of 8s.
Well, this is a 75-year-old former football coach and athletic director.
Ryan's all in with ace-jack.
Well, the coach would love to send No Doubt home without his jockstrap here. Can he do it? 8s up against ace-jack on hand number 1 here at Bellagio.
So here we go, the classic race.
What a hand, though. Yeah, I know.
The 2 overcards versus the under pair on hand number 1. Ted Curley, the 75-year-old former football coach with the 2 8s. Ryan Dowd with the ace-jack, and certainly you can't fault Ryan for going all in there.
Well, he's a very shrewd young man, only 23 years old, poker professional out of Baskin Ridge, New Jersey. He's going to lead a little up right now.
Well, Ryan won his WPT event in season 5, trying to capture a second title tonight. Can he stay alive?
Here comes the flop.
It's come 8-5 deuce. Well, it's not over yet. Ryan Dowd can hit 2 running cards and make a straight. He must catch exactly a 3 and a 4 on the next 2 cards. Otherwise, he's going to be our 6th place finisher.
Wheel draw.
Yeah.
Wheel draw.
It's over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I forgot
yesterday.
Well, you're right. Ryan Dowd
This one's a little different, though.
in huge trouble here on hand number 1.
Ryan's a math genius. He obviously knows the calculations and probabilities of him winning this hand are very slim.
Is everything going good over that set?
Yeah, so far so good.
Well, you certainly can't fault Ryan Dowd for going all in. Anybody would do that with his hand in his chip position. Unfortunately for him, right now, He's got to come from left field to win this pot and stay alive.
Here comes the turn card. Can he get lucky?
Well, another 8 comes off. So the coach has made quads on deal number 1, and that's going to do it for WPT champion Ryan Dowd.
Just no respect for the WPT champ. Knocking him out in hand number 1. Ryan Dowd, 6th place finisher, going to pick up $192,000. He walks away after only playing 1 hand here at the final table. It's going to be one of those nights, Mikey. You just feel it. Hand number 1, Ryan Dowd out of here.
Nice hand, Dad. Very nice hand.
Well, Vance, he stayed up all night doing the calculations of when he should shove. He should have got a good night's sleep and just rubbed the rabbit's foot when he came into the table today.
The biggest attraction in Vegas is the $2.4 million prize being won tonight. You do not want to miss this. The Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic continues right after this.
I get kidded a lot at the tables from the young guys.
That's a wild move, Ted. I didn't expect that from you.
Of course, I kid them back, too.
Are you a wild guy?
Ted turned into Raymond Davis.
I am today, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Cunningham. Alan, it's a big pot out there, buddy. I'm all in. Don't be scared.
I call.
Only a donkey would make that call.
We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
That's when I play really good poker players that I know. Because good poker players, you can get in the edge, you can put them on a hand. Whereas these young kids, they're more difficult to read. I mean, if they don't know what they're doing, how do I know what they're doing?
Welcome back to the WPT, and just like that, we have 5 players remaining.
Well, the crowd's still buzzing about the all-in on deal number 1. Ryan Dowd on the short stack moved all in with ace-jack. Was called by Ted Curley, the former football coach. Ted made 4 8s on the hand, and that did it for the WPT champion. 5 players left, fighting it out for $2.4 million.
Oh, we won these.
That's what a great story it is about this old football coach. Ironically, if he wins this tournament tonight, he'll become the oldest WPT champion ever, replacing the guy that this tournament is named after, the legendary Doyle Brunson himself, who won at 71 years young.
That is blasphemous, if you ask me. All right, back down to the table. It's going to be on Devilfish. Looks down at a miserable Jack-3 offsuit. He folds it.
Over to Ken Rosen. He looks down at an 8-7 offsuit. Ken from Miami Beach, CPA, lays his hand down.
And now it's on to the coach, who has the button,
raise.
and he's got a pair of 9s in this hand. And he says raise.
A better hand than he had just a moment ago when he broke Ryan Dowd.
Was 80, it's got to be 160, right?
Going to double it. He's going to make it 160,000 to go.
That's all right, Jeff. I can't expect you to see.
Jordan Rich
What's surprising is still here.
looks down at 52 card pickup. He folds that. Only one to beat is Eugene Kachalov, the chip leader. He's got a Jack-5.
He's getting a great price to make the call here, over 4-1 odds, but he's a pro. He knows it up against an amateur who plays very solid poker.
Sounds going to show 2 kings.
In other words, he hasn't seen Ted make too many moves. You give him credit for a hand. Eugene opting to fold that hand. And Vance, how great is it that poker is egalitarian, meaning it's equal for everybody, age, race, sex, religion. None of that matters on the green felt. Look at this guy, 75 years young, with a shot to win this title tonight.
Yeah, well, the coach is making the boys do the jumping jack so far, taking 2 hands out of 2 hands. Looking good. All right, action back on Ken Rosen, quickly folding his hand. Let's see if coach will go 3 for 3.
All these cards.
And he looks down at the King-5 offsuit here. And he's going to lay it down, take a rest.
Into Jordan Rich with the button. He's got a 6-3 of diamonds. Not going to discourage him. He is going to raise with his junk hand, making it 220,000 to go.
Eugene Kachalov has 2 jacks in the small blind.
Oh boy, a real hand.
Well, he's the big chip leader here. I'll be surprised if he doesn't raise it here, Vince. And he's not going to raise it, just call, and I say that because he's given the Devilfish pot odds to make the call out of the big blind, and certainly when you got 2 jacks, you really don't want to be up against 2 players with that hand. You'd much rather play against 1.
Devilfish doesn't bite. He does fold. Here comes the flop. 3 of a kind there for Eugene Kachalov.
the two young guns, the two guys that have all the chips at this table involved in this pot. Eugene has flopped 3 jacks and checks.
Yep, he's going to dig the hole, put the twigs over it, waiting for the sucker to fall in.
Jordan's going to make the continuation bet, even though he only has 6 high. He bets $320,000. Well, I can tell you, I played for a while with that kid right on my right in this tournament, and he is a fearless warrior at the table. He likes to become table captain everywhere he's at. He is not afraid to put the chips out there. Now, let's see what Eugene's going to do here.
Now, Eugene doesn't know that his man on his right has absolutely nothing. Zip and pip.
Now, Eugene, a very calculating player. He's a trader as well as a poker player. Graduated from NYU in finance and international business. And right now, the business at hand is how can he extract chips from his opponent?
Well, Eugene looks like he is going to raise, yes. He's going to put in an additional $520,000. And I'll tell you something, that can make your red hair turn brown in just a flash when you're holding bupkis, 6-3 diamonds.
Well, Vince, amazingly, Jordan has not mucked his hand yet. And he is reaching for chips. Can you believe this? He's not reaching for him to call, folks, I can tell you that. If he plays this pot, he's going to re-raise it here.
This would just be a huge mistake.
Wow. Well, I told you he was fearless. He is not afraid to put chips out there. He is going to raise it $780,000 more, but his timing is a little off right here.
Oh, this is just sick right now. I mean, this is just a game of chicken. Red hair saying, I don't believe this guy's that strong. I'm going to be the bully here at the table.
Now, Vince, if you're sitting in Eugene's seat, you're saying, whoa, could this guy possibly flop 3 queens here? He could also have a straight that beats you. There's only 2 hands that can beat 3 jacks right now. That's specifically 3 queens, or if his opponent had a 9-10 in the hole where he had a queen high straight. But I just can't imagine you can lay down 3 jacks here unless you absolutely put your opponent on 3 queens. But he's been playing with this guy for 4 days in a row. He could make this raise with a lot of hands that aren't 3 queens. But as we know, Jordan Rich has absolutely nothing. And Eugene is going to re-raise it again, this time over $1 million. So these are 2 gladiators, and they got their sword swinging right now. One's got a set of jacks, the other has absolutely nothing.
And Jordan Rich getting poor fast, finally does the right thing. Going to lay down that miserable hand.
So the 2 guys with chips trying to battle for position, trying to take the pot away from each other. And that round goes to the chip leader, Eugene Kachelov. He extends his chip lead with a solid left and a right to the guy in second place, Jordan Rich.
Well, it just goes to show you the bravery you have to have. You got to make moves, but even the best make mistakes. Now, can he come back from that?
Well, the standard theory in tournament poker is that you hate to mess with the chip leader. But Jordan takes that to the next level. He knows the chip leaders don't want to mess with a guy who's in second chip position either, because he can get burned badly if he loses a pot to him too. So that's the reason I'm sure that Jordan was trying to make a move there, not only to establish his table captaincy, but to also to let the guy know, be careful who you're messing with here.
Let's go back down to the table. It's going to be on the coach. Ted Curley looks down at a queen 8 offsuit, but he goes away.
Back around to Jordan Rich, who just got burned by raising and re-raising with a 6-3, and this time he's got a 4 deuce, but it's not slowing him down. He is raising again, this time $220,000 to go.
You know what, composure by this young guy. You know, inside he is steaming like a Chinese dumpling, but you wouldn't know it.
Eugene Kachelov has the ace-5 of spade. He burned this guy the last pot, so why not play again? He makes the call. Well, devilfish going out.
And now the CPA, Ken, with king 7. Is it worth the extra investment for him? Nope.
Well, I don't blame everybody for getting out, Vince. Why not let these 2 young gladiators duel it out till one of them goes busted?
Sounds good to me. Ace-5 of spades up against 4 deuce. Here's the flop.
Now, flop is Jack, Jack 9 with 2 spades. Jordan checks. Notice that Eugene has flopped the nut flush draw. And Eugene is going to check the nut flush draw here. Doesn't want to get check raised for a big amount. Now a 9 comes off, so 2 pair on the board.
Helping neither player back on Jordan.
Now Jordan drawing dead.
And Jordan's going to check again with his miserable 4 deuce. And Eugene not going to bet.
Eugene likes his hand. He's got 2 pair with the ace kicker right here. Now the 6 of hearts comes off. That's no apparent help to anybody. Well, Jordan Rich has got to understand the only possible way he can win this pot's to bet at it. He's going to take a stab at it, bets $300,000 here. He's trying to represent that he's got an ace high. Unfortunately for him, he's trying to represent what his opponent has. And Eugene makes the call and takes down the pot again.
Everything going Eugene's way. He has extended his chip lead.
And right now, Jordan Rich is getting poor fooling around with Eugene, Vince.
Stay tuned. 5 players remain at the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. And we're coming back for more action in just a moment.
To win it would be phenomenal. It'd mean a lot because the caliber of play in this tournament is the best in the world.
Internet me now is destroying the better.
So it might say something about my game.
Welcome back to the WPT. The Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic continues. We are down to 5-handed poker. And right now, Eugene Kachelov from New York out in front with close to $11 million.
Well, he came to this final table with a chip lead. Has done nothing but extend it so far. He's sitting on $11 million. The second place guy, Jordan Rich, only has about $4 million. Vince, if you're one of those other 4 players at the table, right now you're starting to think about that monster prize money. Remember, second place gets $1.2 million. Winner gets $2.4, but the difference between 5th and 2nd is about $1 million.
So a lot of money we're talking about. All right, action is going to go to Jordan Rich. He's got a Jack-10 offsuit.
Well, look at this, Vince. He's raised every time so far. That hasn't worked, so this time he's just calling with the Jack-10.
Chip leader has gone out, and now it's around to Devilfish with the button with a 7-5 of clubs. Played pretty tight so far tonight.
I had a bad experience with these 2 cards yesterday, so I'm going to throw them in the muck.
Aces right in the muck, huh?
I normally would play them.
Okay, a little superstitious.
Well, I think that's just an excuse. Just the way the speed of the game is going, he's taking a conservative route today.
Ken Rosen going out, and the coach, Ted Curley, with Jack-4, but he is not going to raise it. Here's the flop.
Well, flop comes ace-7-6. No help to either player.
I'll check.
The coach checks. And here comes the ever-aggressive Jordan Rich.
With just the Jack-10, but he's got chutzpah behind him, and he is going to bet $140,000, and coach is going to go to the sidelines.
And Jordan is now saying, you know, I like betting these other guys, the 2 conservative amateurs, better than betting this tough, aggressive pro sitting on my left here. Let me try somebody else to pick on.
Well, Sam, you won one, buddy. I was starting to get worried about you.
I was getting worried too. The established veterans, the live pros, they actually kind of fear me. They fear online players because they think that we're so wild and aggressive. I'm pretty fearless. That also makes me pretty good. That's maybe why I have a lot of chips.
2 very fast players, Jordan Rich and Eugene Kachelov. Devilfish pulling back his game. He's saying, listen, I know how the coach is going to play and the CPA. They're amateurs. They're going to play real tight. I'm going to try to stick around, move up in prize money. I think that's his tactic so far.
Well, I think you're right, Vince, because we know the Devilfish is anything but a conservative player on the norm.
All right, and with that hand, the antes are going up to 15,000. Blinds are 60 and 120. Action is going to be on the chip leader from Brooklyn, Eugene Kachelov. He's got an ace-deuce of clubs this time.
Well, he's got the whopping chip lead. Does he want to come into this pot? Looks like he does. He's going to raise it. Makes it $300,000 to go.
Now, Devilfish.
Man, he's just got a Jack-6 offsuit this time. An easy laydown.
I got you, Devil. Don't worry.
You got me? Oh, he's got me.
Devilfish in good humor tonight.
Devilfish yet to play a pot at this final table.
You know, there's that much money in the pot now, I should be playing.
It's the opposite of the way the last time we saw him at his final table. When he won the event in Tunica years ago, dominated that table, raised nearly every pot, and that was a table that included the great Phil Ivey.
Well, he's gone out. Right. Ken Rosen out. Very, very tight. And now coach Ted Curley in a small blind with a king-8 of clubs, contemplating this decision.
Well, we know he's a conservative player.
Oh, he's going to punt, it looks like. Goes away.
Doesn't want to tangle with the chip leader. Out of position here. Jordan goes out as well, so Eugene, being aggressive with that ace-deuce, taking down the pot.
Yes, he does. He's only 26 years old, grew up in Brooklyn, now living in Manhattan. And he immigrated from the Ukraine when he was 10 years old.
I gotta
into playing poker about 5 years ago. One of my friends told me, hey, everybody's playing poker. Why don't we try to get a game together? So we went out to like a 99-cent store, bought a cheapest pack of chips we could find. And I remember my first time I lost like $6. Yeah, it was like a penny game in which I lost like $6. So yeah, and now I'm playing for, you know, money, which is, it's hard to believe in even now. My mom, my dad really supported me all the way. So I'm very thankful to them. And I'm very worried about my dad, who I'm afraid might have a heart attack when he's watching me, because he's always my biggest #1 fan. So I'm afraid for him, but I'm very happy that he's here.
All right, let's go back down to the table. It's going to be on the Devilfish. David Elliott. Going to cost him $120,000. If he wants to stick around in this hand, he's got a 10-8 offsuit. He elects to fold.
Well, Ken Rosen out as well.
Yep, Mr. Miami going away. Coach not going to play. Jordan Rich finally picking up a real hand, pair of jacks.
Well, he is loving it right now. So once again, it's down to the two young guns, the two chip leaders, the two blinds. He's going to raise it, makes it $310,000 to go.
Yes, he does. Into Eugene. He's got a nothing, 10-6.
Well, he lays it down. So Jordan Rich is going to pick up the pot, but I guarantee you, he's got to feel like a little salt in the wound right there. Both times he didn't have anything. Eugene played with him and won the pots. This time he's got a hand. He couldn't get any action.
Well, the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic will continue from Bellagio. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action in just a few moments.
Have you got what it takes to be a WPT champion? Find out at WPT on GSN.com.
Welcome back to the WPT. We are at Bellagio in Las Vegas. Five-handed poker continues here. And right now, Eugene Kachalov out in front with close to $11 million. In second chip position is Jordan Rich with 4.2. And we go back to Ted Curley, the coach. He's got about $2 million.
Fourth place is Devilfish Elliott. He's got $1.7 million on the short stack right now. The accountant from Miami, Florida, Ken Rosen, with a little less than $1 million.
And he has played tight so far. He's mucked his hand in this one. Coach going out. And now Jordan Rich, who likes to play a lot of hands. He's got an ace-3 of hearts.
You should raise into the dark. Don't bother looking.
Well, it's a hand most guys would raise with on the button, but Jordan opting to limp in here and make the call. Been burned too many times by Eugene, I guess, not to raise it here.
Into the New Yorker, Eugene. He's got 8-5 in the small blind.
Getting a big price to call here, so he does make the call for $60,000 more.
And Devilfish in the big blind. Doesn't have to pay anything extra to call. He's going to see a flop with his Jack-7.
So here we go. Three-way action. Well, the flop comes Jack-7 deuce. Well, believe me, folks, Devilfish is finally going to play a pot. Let's see how he's going to do it. He's going to check after Eugene checks his hand. So around to Jordan. Now all of a sudden he's going to bet the ace-3 for $220,000.
Yeah, nothing hitting for him, but it didn't matter. And what a dream situation here for the Devilfish. Flop a top 2 pair. Get the guy betting in front of you.
Now notice what's happened. The Devilfish is just calling this bet. He knows he's up against a very aggressive player. And even though there's a potential flush and a potential straight on the board, he still just calls with the 2 pair. Now the board pairs deuces.
A little bit of a scare card there, and he has checked. Wow. And Jordan checked behind him.
I'm checking the best down, huh?
And a 6 of hearts on the river. Nothing changing there. And finally, Devilfish coming out with a bet, $300,000.
Well, Devilfish was expecting a bet on the turn. That didn't happen. So he's going to bet himself here on the river. Now Jordan obviously stalling here. Wondering what Devilfish could have. And what he's saying to himself, what can I beat here with this ace high? Well, I could beat a flush draw. And I could beat a gut shot straight draw. But that's it. Does he want to gamble and make the call with the ace high? No. Makes the lay down, and correctly so. And the Devilfish gets on the board and takes down his first pot.
That is right. He's played very tight tonight so far. Very solid. This time, limping in. He's already got his money in as the big blind, and it pays off handsomely.
Devilfish started this final table in 3rd chip position. But don't count the devil out, folks. I can tell you that. In case he gets a hold of chips, he is old school at its finest, I can tell you. And he knows how to operate with chips.
Well, you know, I've been playing poker before most of these kids was born. I used to play in tough places. I played in one place where the sawdust on the floor was last night's furniture, and there was a hogshead on the bar for an air freshener. You know, I mean, tough places, baby. It's been a long, hard road, and you either get good or you go broke, right?
Great plan by David the Devilfish Elliott, the World Poker Open champion.
I was given the name Devilfish by the Chinese back in Hull, England, and apparently, because I was taking the money off them. Anyway, the Chinese likened me to the devilfish, which is the fugi fish, or the blowfish, which is deadly poisonous when they don't cook it right. The rings was by accident. I got a bracelet made, which he made a right mess of, so I was trying to think of something to get made, and Hull's a pretty tough town where I live, and I used to sometimes carry a brass knuckle around with me, and then I just came up with this idea of devilfish rings, and thought, it was legal. One of the things that I really regret in my life is I never saw my children grow up, really. I was always out on the road playing poker, and it's pretty sad that. And at least nowadays, guys can sit in a home with a family and they can win money online without leaving the front door. And so I've won a lot of stuff in my time, and I don't think I really have to prove it now, This is a big event, it's a lot of money and a lot of prestige with it.
The Devilfish himself, Dave Elliott from Hull, England.
I'd like to win it, I'm going to give it my best shot.
The Devilfish, a tough guy, but he's also a very charming guy at the table. A lot of fun to watch. All right, back down to the table. It's going to be on Coach Ted Curley, 75 years old. He's got a queen 8 this time. He's pondering this. No, he goes away. It's the very aggressive Jordan Rich. He's got an ace 9 of spades. Big hand for this guy.
Certainly a legitimate hand in a short-handed poker game. See what he's going to do with it. I believe he lost that last pot because he didn't raise with the ace-3 suited on the button. This time he is going to raise it. Makes it $300,000 to go with the ace-9 suited.
To his old nemesis, Eugene Katchalov. He's got a little suited connector. Tempting little hand, and he is going to call with a 6-5 of hearts.
I'm all in.
And Devilfish quickly going all in here. He's got 2 queens.
He's got the real hand.
So here we go. Jordan raised it. Eugene called, and here comes the Devilfish moving over the top.
Look at the crowd just eating this up. They love the Devilfish. Back around to Jordan.
Well, there you see Marcel Lusk, very famous player out of Amsterdam, rooting his buddy Devilfish on here.
How much is it?
But Jordan Rich doesn't want to give this hand up just yet. He just wants to know how much more it's going to cost him.
Well, you got to go back to Devilfish, usually aggressive, but tonight played so solid, so tight. And I have to tell you, he's in a great place tonight because he knows he has 2 amateur players, the CPA and the coach, that don't play unless they have huge hands.
What little does he have?
So all he has to beat, these 2 very fast players, these 2 young guns, let them knock each other out. And that's why he's played very conservative so far. And right now it's paying off. He finally picks up a big hand. Will he get paid off handsomely here?
That's one there, right?
We shall see. To make this call, and it's going to be another $1.9 million.
Jordan is going to go out, as does Katchalov.
So the Devilfish picks up about $800,000 there by moving in.
You could have been squeeze playing right there. Maybe, yeah.
I ain't got a squeeze play, my buddy.
Well, let's explain a little bit what a squeeze play is that Jordan Rich was talking about there. It's when player A comes into the pot with a raise, and player B makes a call, does not raise, meaning he's probably not that strong. Player C knows that and knows if he comes over the top of both of those guys, there's a good chance he can pick up that pot if player A doesn't have a real strong hand. That's what we were talking about right there. And it would have been a great play by Devilfish if he didn't have a hand there. He happened to have one.
Makes sense. The pros know it. Right now, nice one for Devilfish. Coming back nicely. Action right on Jordan Rich. This time goes back to a Jack-3. He won't play that. Goes away.
Over to Eugene. Eugene looks down at a Queen 6 offsuit. He folds.
And now the Devilfish with the button has picked up King 9 of spades.
He's also picked up a couple pots in a row.
What the blinds are,
He's feeling a little bit better right now, so why not raise it again? Especially against 2 conservative players. He makes it $400,000 to go with the King 9.
Yes, baby. It's all yours.
Into Mr. Miami. He folds his hand. And now it's around to Coach Curley, who started out beautifully tonight, knocking out Ryan Doubt in hand number 1. And Coach has a King 10.
The coach very aware that he and Ken, sitting on his right, have the image of being very conservative players. That means that the Devilfish could raise with any 2 cards on the button. So he might think his King 10 is the best hand, and indeed it is. He's going to make the call here.
Yeah, he is not going to punt here. Coach going to stick around. Let's see if the flop will be good for him.
Well, here comes the flop. Well, it's ace-7 deuce with 2 hearts. No help to either player. Action on the coach. Taking his time here.
I'll check.
He's going to check it.
He's going to yield it. And look at the shuffling those cards pretty high.
Well, notice the Devilfish never took his eyes off of him. He's going to make the continuation bet here to represent an ace. and he's going to pick up the pot because of his aggressive betting here.
Yeah, and that was strictly playing the player. Devilfish just absolutely analyzing it perfectly, watching the coach, getting a tell, saying, I think this guy is weak, I'm going to bet it, steals that pot.
Well, the tell is this. There's no way any player, amateur or pro, is going to pick up their 2 cards there if one of those 2 cards was an ace.
That's right.
When there's an ace, it comes on the flop.
The Devilfish going after his 2nd WPT title and the biggest win of his career. Will he take home this title? Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action from Bellagio in just a few moments.
The largest poker tournament we have, of course, is named after Doyle Brunson. And the reason for that is Doyle is clearly one of the best players in the world. And since he plays year-round at Bellagio, we thought it'd be appropriate. Doyle and Chip Reese, when he was with us, convinced me to continue to make poker an exciting part of the Las Vegas Strip. So Bellagio built the most current contemporary card room, and of course, all the big players gravitated to that room. Doyle Brunson is unique to all poker players, and I think if you ask any professional poker player who's the most famous card player, Doyle Brunson would be the tip of their tongue.
We're playing poker, not solitaire.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. We're at Bellagio for the final table of the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. And these guys are playing for mega bucks tonight. This is the largest regular season event in the history of poker here. First place tonight, well over $2.4 million. 5 players left. Action's on our chip leader, Eugene Kachalov. And Vince, he's catching a lot here because he looks down at 2 jacks. He's going to raise it, makes it $300,000 to go.
He is catch a lot. Good nickname, Mike. Devilfish going out, and Ken Rosen with the ace-8. Not going to play it. Didn't shove there with the short stack. Coach going out, and Jordan's not going to play.
So the chip leader getting richer.
Ken Rosen with the ace-high. We haven't seen him play 1 pot so far.
Well, Vince, he's going to have to play one soon because blinds and antes cost you over $250,000 a round. He's got less than $700,000. Now that means that in 2 rounds or so, he'll be out of chips completely if he doesn't play a pot.
Cards being dealt. Blinds are at 60 and 120,000. Right back on the Devilfish from Hull, England. Superstar player. Peaks down at a 9-5. Goes out.
Let's play for it all.
Well, here comes Ken Rosen. He's moving all in.
Coach gone out. Jordan Rich not going to play. Catch a lot this time with a Jack-7.
About 700 at 750?
Yep, $7.
All right, big enough.
And he get bullied away. Yes, he does. And the CPA from Miami, Ken Rosen, finally taking down his first pot.
Well, it shows you the power of betting.
Nice on,
You
bro.
much rather would move all in with a weaker hand if you're the first one to get to move in than call with a marginal hand like he had a minute ago with ace-8.
Nicely done. And Mike, you got to say a lot of people on the World Poker Tour take home big, huge amounts of money. But a CPA will really know what to do with the money if he wins it.
Well, you're right, Vince. He probably will hold on to it. But I still like what poker legend and Hall of Famer Jack Strauss used to say about that. He'd said, if God meant for you to hold on to your money, he'd have put handles on it.
Well, speaking of Hall of Famers, Doyle Brunson, the man that this tournament is named after, is in the house, and Layla Cayley is down talking to him.
This tournament has broken all kinds of records. How proud are you right now?
Well, I'm glad to see it got such a big turnout. You know, they do it so well here that the players really like it. The format's really good, and everybody has a good time.
And you have been playing poker for quite some time. What is your inspiration still to get up every day and do your thing? You know, do you still find yourself getting excited over the game?
Yeah, it's the competition. We like to compete, you know, as long as you can. And I think I said something like that. We don't stop playing because we get old. We get old because we stop playing.
All right. Always a pleasure to hear what Doyle has to say.
He's done about everything you can do in the poker world. Won 10 bracelets at the World Series of Poker. He's a WPT champion. What more can you say about the guy?
Well, he's the oldest winner on the WPT, but tonight there's a chance that Coach could pass him by if he should get lucky. All right. Action right back on the man from Miami Beach, Florida,
Right.
Ken Rosen.
Let's dance with the devil.
And once again, this time going all in, but he's got a quality hand. Pair of 10s. Coach going out with 7-5.
Jordan quickly folding as well.
And now it's on the chip leader, Eugene. He's got an ace-deuce this time. but he is also going to fold it.
Seven high, devil.
You know, half of me don't want to really find a hand here, buddy, but let's have a look.
Now you're going to give the amateur credit
First
for
card's
having a
very
hand.
good.
You haven't seen him make any moves yet.
Wow.
Come and get it.
Give him the money.
Devilfish can't play with his queen seven, so 2 in a row for the CPA.
Well, Ken's showing him the 2 tens. He says, "You're right, boys. I've always got a hand when I stick my money out there."
Where do I cash these in? Where do I cash these in? Is it over?
5 players remaining for Bellagio, and we're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
Could you hold your own against world-class players?
Find out by playing online at WPT on GSN.com. Welcome back to Bellagio in Las Vegas. 5-handed action continues here on the World Poker Tour. Winner going to take home close to $2.5 million. And right now it is Eugene Kachelov still out in front with $10.5 million.
And in second place, Jordan Rich with about $3.3 million. Devilfish right on his heels with just about that much. The old football coach Ted Curley in fourth place with $1.7 million. And Ken Rosen, the accountant from Miami Beach, Florida, in last place right now with just over $1 million.
All right, action's going to be on the man from Oregon, Jordan Rich. Highly aggressive, young professional. He's got a pair of 4s.
Well, let's see how he's going to play these 2 4s. He's just going to limp in and call with the small pair here. Once again, right behind him, Eugene Kachelov has him out-carded. He's got 2 9s. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to raise it. He's going to make it $300,000 to go.
Guess you didn't want me coming in on the button, huh?
Devilfish chatting it up, throws away a 10-8.
Yahtzee.
The CPA with 10-5 can't call.
Around to the old football coach, Ted Curley. He looks at a queen 4 offsuit. He's not going to call either. But Jordan Rich quickly calls with the 2 4s, wants to see a flop. So once again, the 2 young guns, the 2 chip leaders, the 2 most aggressive players at the table, at least thus far, clashing yet again.
Pair over pair. Who's going to get lucky? Here's the flop. 6-6-5.
Well, this could be a dangerous flop for Jordan because he's flopped 2 pair. There's no big cards out there. If you put your opponent on big cards, you might want to play 2 4s here. He's checked, however.
Yep.
Eugene with the over pair, as we say, meaning his pair is bigger than any card on the board, is going to bet $610,000.
Jordan Rich, very vulnerable right now. Early on, he was the bully at the table.
Well, he just calls, does not raise with 2 4s here. Just makes the call.
Needs to strike lucky. Here comes 4th Street.
Well, an ace comes off on the turn. Jordan is not going to like that card because if his opponent didn't have an overpair, now the ace might have hit him. He checks. I can't imagine Eugene likes that card either.
Not what you dream about if you have 9s. You're thinking, was this guy going to slow play an ace at this point?
Well, Vince, he knows if he has an ace, it's certainly not an ace-king or an ace-queen. And would he really call with an ace-7 or an ace-deuce or an ace-9 or something like that on the flop when he bet? So you're not going to put the guy on an ace here.
Well, Eugene is betting $2.2 million.
It's a nice bet by Eugene.
Jordan is going to go away.
Well, Vince, every time these 2 guys have gotten in the ring so far tonight, that round has gone to Eugene Kachelov, our chip leader.
That was a pretty good time card you caught there, bro, huh? Well, like he was running without the ball till he caught that ace.
Devilfish predicting that Eugene caught an ace.
I had the best hand until the ace.
He did not. Now Jordan believing that he was actually in front. They're all way off on this. It was just a superb bet by Eugene. Action's going to be on Kachelov. And this time he picks up the weapons of mass destruction. Pair of aces.
Unbelievable, the cards this guy is catching here. Catch-a-lot is the official new name for Eugene Kachelov. All right, he's going to raise it. Comes in for $300,000.
Devilfish going out. Ken Rosen now with a 6-3 and the button. It goes away.
The old coach going out as well. And now we're around to Jordan Rich. Look at this, Vince. He has picked up 2 jacks. A bona fide hand that you would love to have in this situation. Unfortunately for him, he is dominated right now by Eugene Kachelov.
Oh, this could be a complete catastrophe for him. Jordan Rich with jacks, but he's up against aces unbeknownst to him.
Well, Vince, I just can't imagine he's not going to raise it here with the 2 jacks. And indeed, he's going to. And he is going to be pot committed here very shortly, I think, because there's no doubt Eugene is going to play these aces. Just a matter of how he wants to play them.
Jordan Rich has made it $1 million to go.
I'm all in.
And there goes the all-in by Eugene with the perfect hand before the flop.
He's committed. He has half his
This
chips.
would be an amazing laydown by Jordan Rich if he could make it here.
I call.
He is going to make the call.
Oh, boy.
Jordan Rich has picked up a big hand. Unfortunately for him, the chip leader has the best hand possible right now.
Oh, just a complete train wreck for Jordan Rich.
And you see the frustrated look on Jordan Rich's face right there. He is dismayed right now.
He needs to get extremely lucky. 5 cards to come. Here comes the flop.
Well, flop comes 10, 9, 8. Jordan Rich has flopped an open-end straight draw. He knows how good a flop that is. It gives him 8 more outs to win this pot. He can make a straight and win the pot now.
And he's got hope.
Am I a dog here?
And we saw the Devilfish fold to 7.
Can he pick off a winner here? Here comes the turn.
Well, Eugene saying pair the board, and indeed it did. The board pairs 10s, so we are down to the river card. Jordan Rich must catch a queen, a jack, or a 7. Otherwise, he's going to be our 5th place finisher.
1 card away for Jordan Rich. River card coming up.
It's a 5 of spades. So there you go. Jordan Rich, who came to this final table with $6.6 million in chips, goes out in 5th place. And Vince, I believe he lost just about every chip to our chip leader, Eugene Kachalov.
That is right. The bully has been tamed at Bellagio. He's going to pick up $289,000. You just got to say, his play tonight was very aggressive. But right now, he was chopped up like a guest star on Sopranos. 4 players remain at Bellagio. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action in just a moment.
Yes. George? Oh, hello, darling. You're early. I was just running Miss Stern here through the company's disciplinary procedures. She's new here, in charge of incentives and retribution. It's a new management concept, new and every week, boring. Anyway, Mildred, Miss Stern, my wife.
Bad poker face. Doesn't matter when you play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
Pervert!
Welcome back to the beautiful Bellagio and the final table of the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. Here's what's happened so far. With record-breaking money on the line, all 6 players started the night with a dream. But for WPT champ Ryan Doubt, the very first hand became a nightmare that tossed him to the rail before the river hit the felt. Then online expert Jordan Rich went from wealthy to poor as aggressive play and bad timing ended his chance at millions in a 5th place finish. Now 4 remain in the hunt for the record-setting $2.5 million first place prize. A CPA, a retired football coach, a solid young pro, and the devil himself. All hoping to leave Las Vegas one of the wealthiest WPT champions in history. Now back to the game with Mike and Vince.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. We are at Bellagio. 4 players remain going after $2.5 million. Eugene Kachalov out in front with over $14 million.
Well, he is well out in front, too, by about $11 million or so. So you have to say it's almost Eugene's tournament to lose from here rather than win. But now it's the strategy of the other 3 players that I'm going to be interested in watching, because you know one of these guys is going to play heads up with Eugene for this title. So now how to work yourself into that position is the quest of the other 3 players right now.
What an opportunity for the Devilfish, trying to repeat as a WPT winner up against 2 very tight amateur players.
Yeah, I know that.
All right, back down to the felt that's on him. He's got a 5-3. He quickly folds his hand.
How can you play against someone called Kachalov? You got no chance.
Ken Rosen out as well.
Only one to beat now is the coach, Ted Curley. He won't play, so Eugene Kachalov taking down another pot.
Probably had 2 kings that time, huh?
No, not quite.
All right, cards being dealt once again. Eugene taking down another pot. It's going to be on the CPA for Miami. He's got a 7-6 offsuit. He goes out. Coach going away.
You just got to walk, bro. Remember that. I ain't seen me on yet. I'm not begging.
You are going to get a walk?
Well, that's good. Well, I was going to defend, Bo.
Devilfish reminding him he just got a free pot in hopes that Eugene fold to him, and that's exactly what happened. So the Devilfish getting a walk there.
Like I told him on the TV, buddy, you're a good poker player.
So back-to-back ground skinners, as we say, something you see very rarely in poker tournaments. Well, with this kind of prize money, the great players from around the world come out to play, and many of them had a great shot to take down this title, get down to the last table or two. Well, our own Kimberly Lansing has been around the tournament area all week long, and right now, she's up talking to Layla to tell us what happened during the week.
Thanks, guys. Kim, it took these players an intense 6 days to make it to the final table. What was it like earlier on in the tournament?
Well, this is one of our richest tournaments. $15,000 buy-in, over 600 players, a ton of pros. Phil Ivey was the chip leader at the beginning of the tournament. We really all thought that he was going to make his 8th WPT cash, and for Phil Ivey, that means his 8th WPT final table. Unfortunately, he busted right before the money. Daniel Negreanu then took over that chip lead. Unfortunately, he was coolered. His kings ran into Ryan Dowd's aces, and Ryan Dowd made the final table. And it just goes to show that poker is so unpredictable.
It is unpredictable, and that's what makes it so fun. Let's waste no more time and get back to the game.
Well, there we saw Kimberly Lansing talking about the big names in poker who almost made it to this final table but didn't quite make it. How come she didn't talk about me, Vince?
I guess she was waiting for me to do that. You did play this tournament. You put your $15,000 in. How'd it go for you, Mike?
Good luck for the show, Vince. Good luck.
Chips are still out there on the table, Vince. I can tell you that. Sadly, I'm not there with them.
All right, let's go back down to the winning table. It's going to be on the coach, Ted. He goes out. And now Eugene Kachalov with the button. He's got a 10-7 of diamonds.
Well, he's in position.
Catch a lot. They call it.
That's a double gapper, as we call it, suited connector. Got plenty of chips, so he's going to pop it up. Makes it $300,000 to go.
Gets the devilfish to swim away. And now it's around to Ken Rosen.
All right, I'm all in.
But Ken Rosen's not going to take it anymore. He has raised all in.
The accountant calculated that one perfectly.
Well, let's see what Eugene's going to do now with the 10-7 of diamonds.
Come on, Lump. Bring it home.
Notice there's going to be about $1.3 million in the pot. It's going to cost him $600,000 more to make the call. He's getting a pretty good price to make the call. He can afford to make it. The question is, do you really want to gamble against a player who you consider to be pretty tight? Do you want to double him up here?
It's a pittance.
I mean, as the cards lie, he's about $1.50 to win this pot. About a 3-2 favorite.
Never make a call when you're behind?
I'm behind.
I know that much.
Ken, I wouldn't be encouraging this guy to call, I can tell you that.
Now, Ken has been very quiet all night long, but now he's getting a little bit cocky, confident, loves his position right now.
What about that? The first thing we've heard from the guy all night long is about an abacus.
Anyone add on their fingers?
Let's dance.
You talk about an accountant.
The only thing is that sometimes you just don't want to taunt the poker gods. You know, you act too cocky, sometimes it comes back to haunt you, but could this be his night?
You see what a precise player Eugene is. He wants to calculate the exact amount of chips that's in the pot, then see if he's got what he thinks are 2 live cards where he can justify making this call.
All right, we got it.
Oh, he's done it. He's finally made the call.
Well, mathematically, he's getting the best of it, Vince. He's getting over 2-to-1 odds on his money when, in fact, he's only about a 3-2 underdog to win the pot.
A lot better shape than you thought he was, huh?
No, ace deuce
a lot better shape than you thought.
Give him a flush.
Now let's see if he can get lucky and take out yet another player.
It wasn't diamonds, but 40%. Diamonds are irrelevant, man.
It's my time. Let's go.
Okay, here comes the first 3. And it's a good one there for Ken Rosen, 5-5-4.
That's pretty sweet.
So right now, Ken Rosen in great shape to double up here.
Let's go, end it.
He's got the diamonds covered in case those come in. Really, all he's got to do is dodge a 10 or a 7 or a backdoor straight by Eugene.
Turn card comes up. Oh, it's a 9.
So Ken Rosen, very happy with that card.
Just fade it, fade it.
He knows the only way he can lose this pot is if a 10 or a 7 comes up on the river. And recognize Ted Curley folded a 7 before the flop.
He's got to sweat one more card. Can he get there?
It's a 10! Wow! Can you believe it? Well, Vince, it's official. We got to change his last name from Kachalov to Ketchalot. He's had a river card. He's busted Ken Rosen out of this tournament.
That was disgusting. Eugene, good playing, buddy.
Oh, what a devastating spike there for Eugene Kachalov. He picks up the pot. He's going to eliminate the accountant. Finally losing his audit here tonight. He is our fourth-place finisher, going to take home $433,000.
Well, Vince, he felt like he was priced in to make that call. I'm talking about Eugene.
Yeah, he was.
He has $1 gazillion in chips. He could afford to make the call. That's the beauty of having chips. You can make those calls with a 10-7.
3 players remain at the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. We're coming back with more action in just a moment.
Welcome back to Bellagio in the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. We are down to 3 players. It's come down to 26-year-old Eugene Kechalov. He's the monster chip leader with over $15 million in chips. He's up against WPT champion David the Devilfish Elliott, and in third place an amateur player out of Michigan, former football coach Ted Curley.
We are talking about the big money now. Winner going to take home close to $2.5 million. Second place, $1.2. Third place, $674. Back to the table, Devilfish now with the button. He's got a 6-5 of hearts.
He's just going to call. Limps in on the button.
And now Coach Ted Curley with King 8 of diamonds has an option to raise.
Well, many pros would raise the Devilfish here after he limped in on the button, suspecting he had 2 middle cards, just trying to see a cheap flop. But the coach says, go ahead and give us a flop. Takes the conservative route. Well, it's come Queen 6 deuce with 2 clubs. Action is on the coach. That flop didn't help him.
I'll check.
Well, he checks it. Now Devilfish gets a piece of that pair of 6s. And he's going to swing out a bet of $300,000 and a quick fold by Coach.
Teddy.
Now Devilfish showing that he had 6s.
Don't mean I'm robbing you, buddy.
That was good.
Oh, I know it was good, otherwise I would have ate from you. I know that. Damn.
Yeah, he's trying to say, listen, I'm not going to rob you tonight.
You don't lack in confidence anyway, David.
Yeah, we know a little bit better than that.
Notice what the Devilfish did there. He showed him the 6, and in case he didn't remember there was a 6 on the flop, Devilfish pointed out for him. Yeah, there was a 6 out there.
We'll get it.
I'm not robbing you. I've always got something if I bet against you.
You're not only going to win it. Whoop the Devilfish heads up to it. Damn.
Don't worry, I'll get to like 17 million, then you'll just come back and win it. Be the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Did you read the script?
I did.
So Devilfish taking down that pot. And I like the way he played that hand, Vince, and I say that because some pros might think you're supposed to raise on the button against a conservative player like the coach, but I think he can limp in, so I think the conservative route is the right way for the Devilfish to go right now. He's just trying to get heads up to play for this title.
Back to the table, on the button, Eugene with 8-7 got a limp in, and back on Devilfish, who's got a 5-4 in the small blind.
He wants to try to hit a flop and see if he can get lucky, so he makes the call.
Now Coach Curley with a Queen 5 offsuit with an option, but he wraps the table. Look at this 3-way action.
Here we go, 3-way action here.
All right.
Devilfish rubbing his hands together. He likes multiple way action. Jack 10-4, all different suits. Devilfish hitting bottom pair. Action's on him. Look at this. He's taking the aggressive route. He's going to lead out and bet to find out where he's at right here. $320,000.
Coach going out, and Eugene with the inside straight draw will not compete.
Well, there's a nice bet by the Devilfish right there, and I say that because had he checked and one of the other 2 players bet, very difficult to call your money off with bottom pair. Why not just lead out and bet? If somebody raises it on the flop, you just lay your hand down. So a good aggressive bet by Devilfish on the flop to find out where he was at, and he's rewarded by taking down the pot.
Let's not forget, he won on the first season on the World Poker Tour, took home over $500,000, which seemed like a tremendous amount of money at the time. But now they're battling for $2.5 million. The game has grown, so has the prize pool.
And I believe when he won that tournament, Vince, it was the most dominating performance in the history of the World Poker Tour. And that was at a final table that included Phil Ivey.
That is true. All right, action's on the chip leader, Mr. Catch-A-Lot. This time he's got an ace-4 offsuit.
So he's going to pop it up here, make it $300,000 to go.
Devilfish escaping there, goes out.
I'm all in.
The coach is saying all in with a Queen Jack.
Wow. Well, Vince, he's got to feel like it's about 3rd and 25 right now. So he's throwing the Hail Mary pass right here. He's moved all in. And now let's see what Eugene is going to do.
And Coach is short stacked. He has just decided that Eugene is trying to push this with the button. Feels he's out in front, but little does he know he is not.
With about $1.6 million in the pot, going to cost Eugene $900,000 to make this call. Now he can afford to make this call, but when you're the big chip leader, the last thing you want to do is double up conservative players with what you would consider to be a marginal hand. And right now, as you can see by the look on Eugene's face, there's no way he can really feel like he's got the best hand here.
Oh, such a marginal hand.
Everything Eugene has done at this final table has been correct. He's had the best hand every time he needed to, and he drew out the one time he didn't have the best hand.
My hand's better than 10-7.
Pardon me?
My hand is better than 10-7.
So is his.
Yeah.
Well, the Devilfish, you know, would like to see him make this call. He doesn't care what he's got.
All right. I think I have to call anyways.
He makes the call, and a good one.
And he is going to love it when the coach turns up his hand. There you see the fist pump. He's exhilarated to see he has the best hand right here.
And the coach looks like he made himself run laps there.
So a nice call right there by Eugene Catch-A-Lot.
Catch-A-Lot.
Got to be feeling good about his chances right now.
Just ace, ace, ace. How about ace, ace?
WPT champ Nick Schulman on the side of Eugene, his good friend. Both New Yorkers, both celebrating with his fine call with just ace high.
Well, you see the coach's family over there, including his wife Helen of 57 years. They're holding their breath here. They know their man's got to get lucky to stay in the game. Can he do it? Well, it's come King Jack 4.
Oh, so far so good for Coach.
Well, the family starts clapping. The old coach knows the game's not over yet, though. He's still got the game face on. Now, Eugene did flop bottom pair, but he still needs an ace or a 4 or 2 running cards to make a straight. 7 of clubs comes off. So once again, we're down to the river. Eugene Catch-A-Lot must catch an ace or a 4 to win this pot and eliminate Ted Curley from his tournament. The king of spades comes off on the river. And Coach Curley, his timing was perfect, throwing the Hail Mary there. He doubles up and sits back down.
I tried.
The bomb was completed. He's going to stick around. He is doubled up.
I'm against Catch-A-Lot and Catch even better. One shot of either.
Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action for Bellagio in just a moment. Welcome back to Bellagio in Las Vegas. Three-handed action continues here at the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. And right now, Eugene Catch-A-Lot with close to $14 million.
In second place for WPT champion David the Devilfish Elliott, and the football coach, the old one, Ted Curley, just got lucky the last pot to double up off Eugene. And Vince, although the Devilfish didn't play that last pot, the biggest hit in that hand was taken by him. Cost him over $600,000 in real money and a shot to play for this title.
Your raise.
Back to the table, Devilfish out.
Well, here comes the coach. He's raising it up right here. Makes it $400,000 to go with the ace-9 offsuit. And Eugene lays down the king-8 in the big blind. So the coach is on a little roll right now. On you, Huskies. Well, Vince, you got to say the football coach threw a nice touchdown pass. He's still in the game.
I think he got a good call by the officials is the way I would like to look at it. Now, he has played every day this week with that same lucky sweater, his green sweater. Hasn't taken it off. Can his luck continue here? I'd like to borrow that sweater sometime.
It's doing well for him here, no doubt about it. But here he folds the queen-deuce offsuit.
Now Eugene, our chip leader.
And he peeks down at the queen-6 offsuit. He opts to limp in and make the call.
And the Devilfish with a very uneventful 7-4.
Happy to get a free flop with it. So the two chip leaders involved in a pot here. Here comes the flop. King-6 deuce. So Eugene has flopped second pair, 2 6s with a pretty good kicker.
Yep, he caught a piece of that. He's first to act.
Well, you have to think it's the best hand here, Vince, because you got to figure Devilfish would have raised it if he had a king in his hand before the flop. So he's going to test the waters here. He is going to bet out $250,000.
A quick ejection by the Devilfish. He is going to swim away. So another pot going to Eugene Catch-A-Lot. Devilfish isn't making any moves yet. He is very content to go through his strategy of playing solid, tight poker at this point. He just wants to outlast Ted Curley, the coach. He thinks he can do it.
I guess I'm going to have to knock you out, Ted, baby.
No more niceties at the table, he's saying.
Physically.
I wish you were out, Ted.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the coach or the Devilfish, either one, would be discontent to get second place money right now and call it off?
I know that the CPA would take second place money, but if you're a Devilfish, you don't play for second place. Let's just put it that way. All right, Devilfish now with a king-3 of clubs.
And he's going to raise on the button here. Comes in for $400,000.
I'm all in.
But coach right behind him with a pair of 9 says all in.
Well, there you go. Eugene quickly gets out of the way.
Back around the Devilfish.
Ted, don't tire yourself out, brother. Take him back. Let's go.
Well, Devilfish said, don't wear yourself out pushing all them chips in. The pot is yours. Not going to tangle with him with a king 3.
Thanks, David.
So chalk another pot up to the old football coach.
On the king queen.
But credit a lot of this effort tonight to his wife. You know, a week ago in the seniors tournament, Ted Curley took in $19,000 in prize money. He said, honey, I'd like to play the big tournament, but, you know, this is our little nest egg here. What do you want me to do? She said, look, we're going to go home a little bit ahead anyway. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to play it. She encouraged him to play this tournament. Here he is fighting it out for big bucks. And what a decision that was. You know, behind every good man, there's a good woman, Vince. Here's perfect proof of it.
I do consider poker to be a sport. I like the mental challenges in poker. And after you play 8 hours under a lot of stress, it can wear on you too. It can become physical. When I was a coach, you take one game at a time, one play at a time. And now that I'm playing poker, I have the same philosophy. In coaching, you know, the football doesn't always bounce your way. In poker, you don't always get the card you want. I don't think there's much I can teach the young people. I don't think I'm aggressive enough. The young people are aggressive players. Maybe they should learn patience from me. I'm really happy to be playing in the big leagues, so to speak. I think it's wonderful. Every day I tell my wife, this is unbelievable that I could be this far into this tournament. I think I'm going to wake up back in northern Michigan shoveling snow. That's the way it's like a dream.
Vince, even though he's an amateur player and only been playing poker for 5 years, he's 2 for 2 in terms of cashing on the World Poker Tour. He finished in 36th place in the WPT World Championship event last season, and here he is at the final table tonight. So the guy's got a little game, no doubt about it.
Beats playing checkers in retirement, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that.
Let's go back down to the table. It's going to be on the Devilfish. This time he's got a 7-5 of diamonds.
Well, he's one of those rare players in the world, Vince.
420.
That's a terrific tournament player as well as a big-time high-stakes cash game player.
That is true. Well, here he bumps it up to 420,000 to go, it looks like. The coach is going to fold. Well, Eugene's got a pretty good ace-jack.
The crowd hushed. You can hear a pin dropping here right now. Mega bucks on the line, every decision critical.
Eugene's a graduate of NYU. He was in the School of Business, a double major of finance and international business. Can you imagine that?
Well, here he's going to pop it up and raise it to over $1.2 million. And you know the Devilfish doesn't like that.
Looking for a stiff drink after that raise.
I've been leaning over to throw up a little bit.
Not fun when someone comes back over the top when you're just holding 7-5.
Ted, do you want me to call this?
I was asking the coach what to do.
David, you got to do what you feel's
best
for David.
Yeah. Okay.
And the coach gave him a very football coach kind of line. You got to do what you got to do.
We don't care about the house 300,000, right, Ted? We don't need that stuff.
Yeah, so Eugene Ketchelov taking down another pot. Well, he says his favorite player is Nick Schulman. He's in the crowd tonight rooting for his buddy Eugene.
What do you think makes him such a great player? Why has he come this far?
You know, he has a lot of experience. He plays online, he plays live, and he's just got tons of natural ability.
Well, he said you were giving him some advice, so what were you saying to him?
No, he was just being modest. I was just giving him support, telling him to, to rest, eat well, certain things about hands here and there, but he has everything under control.
So Eugene came to the United States with his parents from the Ukraine when he was 10 years old, and he didn't speak any English then. Yet here he is now, not much of an accent, highly educated. He's a trader and a poker player, and doing very well, especially here tonight.
All right back down on the felt. Let's go watch him gamble once again. Now Eugene picking up another ace, ace-7 this time.
Well, this is a hand that you'd raise most of the time with out of the small blind, especially if you're the big chip leader. But Eugene, it looks like he's just going to limp in here and make the call, and that's what he's done, trying to camouflage the fact that he's got an ace in his hand.
And Devilfish with just king 5.
Now he says, give us a flop. Well, here comes that flop. It's come queen 10-5. No help for Eugene. Devilfish is flop bottom pair. Action's on Eugene, and he checks. Devilfish might think his 2 5s are the best hand after his opponent checked, and indeed they are. He bets. Eugene folds, and the Devilfish takes down the pot. So a very nice, small, probing bet by the Devilfish there. Wins the pot for him. So many times, folks, when you're betting at a pot, you don't need to make a big bet to get the same information as when you make a small bet. Devilfish made a small bet there. It worked for him. He took down the pot.
Who's going to win tonight is still anyone's guess as the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic continues. Don't go away.
Welcome back to that quaint little desert town known as Las Vegas, Nevada. We are at Bellagio in a three-handed battle to take home close to $2.5 million. And right now, Eugene Kachalov out in front with $14 million.
In second place is David the Devilfish Elliott. And in third place, a retired football coach from Michigan, Ted Curley. He has about $2.6 million in chips.
All right, and Eugene, the chip leader, quickly folding his hand, yielding to the Devilfish, and Devilfish is going to call.
Got to raise, David.
Well, and just that quick, out of the big blind, Ted Curley pops it up to $400,000. He's got 2 sevens.
You know what, Ted, baby? I got a really bad feeling about my cards here. And I live on my instincts, bro. I'm going to fault. I'd normally play with this for that amount, but take it, buddy.
Don't really know what he said there, but he is folding his hand.
David Elliott from Northern England. He's from Hull.
I saw a jack anyway.
And even the English people can't understand the people from Northern England.
That looked like about a jack 10 there, Ted.
It was better than that, David.
I'll tell you, in fairness to Devilfish, he really hadn't caught very many hands at all at this final table. In fact, the only pots I can remember that he won, one hand he had jack 7 in the big blind where he flopped 2 pair and nobody raised free flop. But other than that, he's won his pots with bottom pair. Really hasn't caught any cards yet at this final table. Yet here he is, 3 players left fighting it out for this title.
That's a big part of it. Let your other opponents get knocked out first. Devilfish just waiting to pounce here.
Well, he's got King 4. He quickly lays it down.
And the coach now with a Queen 9 of diamonds. A little perplexed about that last hand, I think, still.
No call.
Just calling. I don't like this move. He's got to get more aggressive with that kind of hand when your head's up. Especially when you have the image of being so tight. You could steal a lot of pots. Eugene right behind him, not going to raise with his jack deuce, so we're going to see a flop. Here it is.
And flop comes 10-9-3 with 2 hearts. So the old coach, Ted Curley, has flopped second pair. He's got 2 nines. He's going to bet a couple $100,000 here, and he wins the pot.
Well, Doyle Brunson, you know, he's the oldest winner on the WPT, but Coach here has a chance of topping that victory. Coach being 75 years old, if he should take this title, would make the new record.
Well, Vince, if truth be known, I believe Doyle wouldn't mind seeing the coach break his record. See a guy 75 years old win out here in the World Poker Tour, that would be a terrific thing.
The young 26-year-old is still our chip leader with close to $15 million in chips. And then we're going back to the coach who has taken over second chip position with 2.9. And Devilfish in third chip position with 2.5 million.
Action's back on Eugene Kachalov. We now call him Catch a Lot because we've seen him catch a lot so far tonight.
Blinds are still 60 and 120,000. Eugene going out with a 6 deuce. Devilfish with a King 9.
320, Ted.
And he's going to raise it to 320,000.
Well, he's going to try to muscle out the big blind. And the big blind has a big hand, though, Mike.
I'll call you, Dave.
Ace King for Ted.
Don't blame me, buddy. Don't blame me.
320?
Yeah.
And look at this, Vince. He just calls with the Ace King.
Wow.
Now, I don't like this play. You're playing for this kind of money. You've got that few chips. I would have gone ahead and raised it with the Ace King, but let's see how it works out. Well, flop comes 10-4-3 with 2 spades. Action's on Devilfish. That flop helping neither player. He's going to check it.
Going to make it 4.
Yeah, he's going to bet when he didn't hit. Nice play by Ted.
He's going to bet 400,000.
So we're watching the coach make a move here. Devilfish gives him so much respect.
You look like you caught that flop to me, Ted. Just looking at your face.
Well, the Devilfish lays his hand down. Ted turns up the Ace King.
He's going to advertise, listen, I don't have anything big right now.
I King 9. I was lucky at that. Wow. You got me in bad shape there, buddy. I'll tell you.
I'd like seeing what would have happened if Devilfish would have made the continuation bet on the flop. What do you do with Ace King then?
I think it's bye-bye for Coach, no doubt about it.
Nice hand, bro.
But he does take the pot. It's going to be on the Devilfish. Once again, he's got the button. And this time he's got a nice hand. Ace 10.
Watching that middle out there altogether.
He's on the short stack right now. And we got about 2.2 million. You know he's going to play this hand. Question is, how do you play it?
I guess I'm all in.
Well, he's going all in.
All in.
Yeah, no finesse play here. He is pushing all his chips to the middle.
I can't all flop him. I've got to get rid of him.
The coach looking down at a 4 deuce. Can't possibly call that. And now Eugene.
Oh, look at this, man. He's picked up ace jack. He has the devilfish dominated.
Why would you go all in? How much is it?
It's not a lot, bro.
Oh, you gotta know.
Most of the time when a guy goes all in this situation, he's got an ace and a baby card or a small pair.
Yep, exactly. You don't want action. You don't want to be called. But right now, Eugene Kachalov with a strong hand.
Don't pretend you can see what's going on.
His dilemma here is the devilfish is the last guy in the world he wants to double up in this situation. He wants to keep him down low, but on the other hand,
I was going to call a re-raise. I might as well stay it all in, right?
If you got a chance to take him out right here, where you can play the coach heads up for this title.
It's 110 now. Wow. If you tell me what it is, I'll tell you what to do.
I don't think I can fold. I'm gonna call.
But he has made the call. That's a brilliant one.
Well, he's made the call.
Wow, you're the best, baby.
Eugene figured it out exactly correct. And now the devilfish going to have to get lucky to stay alive in this tournament if he's going to capture a second WPT title tonight. He's been virtually card dead at this final table. Finally picks up a decent hand in a 3-handed game, and yet here he is, dominated by his opponent.
That's right, Eugene going over the side to his buddy Nick Schulman, WPT winner as well. One exciting moment for this young 26-year-old out of New York City.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Huge opportunity to knock out Devilfish.
Thanks, John, for the turn, really.
Nick Schulman giving a little neck pull to his buddy.
He said, Eugene, you can't do it much better, my friend. And that's a nice flop for us. It's come king 5-3 with 2 spades. So the devilfish shaking his head. He's going to have to catch 2 running cards to make a straight, 2 running spades to make a flush, or a 10. He is up against it right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Devilfish in a net right now. Here comes the turn card. Ooh, oh, my, almost looked like a 10 there.
Well, the crowd moaned because it did almost look like a 10. But as it is, we're down to the river card. And David, the devilfish Elliott, must catch a 10 to stay alive in this tournament.
8. Okay.
What? Yeah!
Well, the king of spades comes up on the river.
Thanks a lot, darling.
The devilfish has been speared, filleted, and seared. Out in 3rd place. Going to take home $674,000.
You got to get aggressive now. You're not going to win if you don't.
Oh, yeah. Pleasure. I'm catching cards. I mean, that means
But it just wasn't meant to be for the devilfish tonight. 3rd place finish.
We're both winners.
Yeah.
No matter how it turns out.
It's been a pleasure, no matter how it turns out. Yeah.
Well, as is the custom on the World Poker Tour, when we get down to heads-up play, we have our money presentation. And out come the gorgeous girls with the cash in 10-gallon hats.
Oh, you got to love that respect of Doyle Brunson and his cowboy hat. The money being passed out on the table. Now, some of that $3.7 million is Mike Sexton's, I believe.
Oh, indeed it is, Rance. 15,000 of it is mine. I see it now. It pains me to see it out there for them. I'm just thinking, I wonder if they went to Doyle's closet and raided it. All the hats and money he's got.
All right, including the WPT chip set. All flopped out there on the table. It is all on the line. Heads-up action about to begin against the young 26-year-old New Yorker, Eugene Kachalov, up against the former football coach from Michigan, Ted Curley. Stay tuned. We're coming back with the start in just a moment.
The next stop on the World Poker Tour is your home. Come play with us at WPT on GSN.com.
Welcome back to Bellagio, where we are about to start heads-up action. Now, during the break, I spoke to the 2 remaining players. Here's what they had to say.
How excited are you right now?
I'm very excited. I'm running good, catching cards. I mean, it's pretty much going as perfectly as I could have expected it. Only in my wildest dreams it could have gone worse. So, I mean, we'll see. I hope I can take this down.
Well, your dreams are coming true. You're going for the $2.4 million, Eugene. Look at that smile.
It's hard to express that number in a smile.
And I was reading your bio. You're 75 years old, a retired football coach. How the heck did you get into poker at 75 now?
Hey, every football coach in the United States is a gambler. When you stake your reputation and your future on 21 and 22-year-olds carrying a football, you're a gambler, I'll tell you.
And the question is, can the amateur player from Michigan, a former football coach for college, take on a young buck who's a poker professional, who's dedicated his life to this game? Can he be on the same level and take home this title away from him? Action's on Eugene Kachalov. He's got a 9-3 offsuit.
He's going to limp in on the button here to try to see a cheap flop. But the coach has picked up an ace-9 offsuit.
You just called me, right, Gene? Eugene?
I did.
Yeah. I'm going to raise.
He's going to raise with it.
All right, he's going to change gears. He's going to make a raise, and it's going to work.
Well, Eugene quickly folds, so Ted Curley off to a good start in this heads-up battle. Perhaps he's going to change gears a little bit here, Vince. Become much more aggressive, as he knows he probably has to do if he has any hopes of taking down this title. And Vince, he's just a great guy. I was talking to him before this final table. He grew up in Michigan. He said his dream was to play baseball for the Detroit Tigers. He was a baseball player when he was young. He wasn't quite good enough to make it to the major leagues, yet he said, here I am in the major leagues of poker.
All right, it's going to be on him. This time looks down at an 8-6 offsuit, and he is going to limp in with that. Just calling.
Eugene looking down at the worst two-card starting hand you can have in No Limit Hold'em, the 7-deuce offsuit. He says, give us a flop. Well, the flop comes ace-10-5 with 2 diamonds. No help to either player.
No, it's not. Action on Eugene. Going to check it.
Well, Ted quickly checks right behind him. Now the 3 of clubs comes off. This does give Eugene a gut shot straight draw. A 4 would give him a straight, but still, he really doesn't have any hand. But he is going to bet $160,000, the minimum bet you can make, the size of the big blind. But yet, look, it's going to be enough to get the job done. As the old coach throws his hand away. And he had nothing but an 8 high there. But still, you got to tip your hat to the chip leader right there. Bet the minimum amount, but it got the job done.
If the football coach had 4th and inches, he's not going to take any chances punting that away.
Well, Vince, I do believe it's going to be difficult for him to win this title by running the ball up the middle on every single play. I believe he's going to have to put a few flea flickers in there if he wants to take down this title. Let's see if he can do it.
We could have a surprise package. We will see. Action's going to go back to Eugene. Missed to catch a lot tonight. He's got Jack-8 this time, offsuit. Got a lot of poise in his game.
Well, he is going to bet here and raise the pot to $400,000. Ted quickly going out. So it just shows you the aggression of the chip leader. Raising on the button there with a Jack-8 offsuit to take that pot down. Betting the previous pot with a 7-deuce offsuit to take that pot down. And Vince, it appears to me that he's just going to use his chips to power his way along, continually increase his chip stack without jeopardizing a lot of chips.
And Mike, isn't it fun when you can win pots with Jack-8 and just junk hands? As soon as you raise, you're saying, this could be my lucky day. If I can win with these junk hands, wait till I get the big hands. All right, it's going to be on Coach Curley. He's got a king, 8 of clubs. Raise. He says raise.
Yeah, he makes it $380,000 to go.
All right, he's going to step it up here. Right behind him, Eugene's picked up a whopper. Big hand, ace-queen.
Well, catch a lot is catching even more right now.
So it's 220 to me?
He's got the ace-queen. Let's see how he's going to play it. I don't see Eugene being in any hurry to win this thing. He's got a monster chip lead. He just doesn't stub his toe. I'm sure he feels like he can get this guy, as we've seen already. Very meticulous when he makes his decisions as to how much to bet. Never rushes a decision. You got to like the demeanor of this player, Vince. No doubt about it. And he's going to come over the top here. He's going to raise it to a little over $1 million. Looks like a $650,000 raise here. Well, the old coach here. Better be careful. He's going to get flagged with a penalty here.
Okay.
And indeed, he's making this call with the king, 8 of clubs. Very marginal call in my mind. Let's see how it works out for him.
Hoping to catch lucky. Here's our flop.
Oh, flop is queen, 4 deuce with 2 diamonds. Dream flop for Eugene. He's got top pair and top kicker.
Eugene first to act.
Yeah, he's taking a long time to decide what to do. Do you want to bet this or not? There's over $2 million in the pot, so I can't imagine you'd check and give your opponent a free card that might beat you. And indeed, he's not. He's betting $420,000. And this is what we call a post-oak bluff, so to speak, a small bet into a pretty good-sized pot that's got over $2 million in it. And the coach is trying to figure it out. Is he just making a small bet to try to steal a pot? If so, I could come over the top, maybe take it away. Or is it a beg me call type of bet, which indeed it is. Ted gives him credit for having something because he lays it down. So Eugene Kechelov taking one step closer to crossing that finish line and capturing his first WPT title.
Heads-up action continuing. Eugene out in front. Will the 26-year-old take home the $2.5 million? We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
This is the 5th day straight, I think, that I've worn this shirt. My wife wants to wash it every night, but I won't let her. That's a baseball tradition. When you get on a winning streak, you don't change your clothes. You stay with what you got.
Is he bluffing? I think he's trying to bluff me here. I bet that ace hit. What is he thinking? What is he trying? When the ace came off on 4th Street, he played with his chips. 13 to 1, 12 to 1, 16 to 4 to 1, 8 to 2 to 1. Makes my 2 pair good unless I'm drawing dead. I like my chances. I'm all in. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
Welcome back to the WPT. We are coming from Las Vegas, Nevada, at Bellagio for the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. Heads-up action continues. And right now, Eugene Kechelov, the 26-year-old out of New York, is our chip leader with a massive $18 million in chips.
And the old coach, Ted Curley, sitting on about $1.7 million in chips. And Vince, he was an old baseball player, he told me. And right now, he's got to be thinking it's the bottom of the 9th, and he's about 8 runs down. Let's see if he can come back and win the game.
All right, action's going to go on Eugene. He's got the button. He's got a 9-8.
Well, Eugene limps in and calls on the button.
And right behind him, Coach Curley with a Jack-6 of diamonds. Content to see a flop. Here it is.
Well, the flop comes Queen 10-5. No help for Ted. A gut shot straight draw for Eugene. Action is on the old coach.
Yes, it is. Nothing hitting there. Looks down at his nothing hand.
I'm all in,
Jay. He's going to go all in with it.
Well, there you go, coach. There's a flea flicker for him, and it gets him a first down.
Oh, man, Eugene mucking his hand before Coach could even finish his sentence. Nicely done. Sometimes in this game, you just got to get mad as heck. You just can't take it anymore, and you got to push with absolutely nothing.
Well, especially when you're playing heads-up poker. Most of the time when you're playing heads-up poker, it's a battle of unpaired cards. Your opponent won't have a pair, you won't have a pair. You only hit the flop 30% of the time, so most of the time, guy's not going to hit a flop. So if you're betting at the pot, chances are he hasn't hit the flop, and you're going to win if you bet.
I'm going to raise
back down to this action, and once again, Coach with just an 8-7 says raise. He's going to move it up to $320,000 to go to Eugene. Oh boy, can Coach take 2 in a row here?
Of course, here he just looks down at a 7-3 offsuit. He's going to throw it away. Well, there you go. Coach puts another man on base. And how about it for this guy? Could he possibly come back and take down this title?
Well, he's doing a great job right now. He is just doing onside kicks here, and he's getting the ball back.
Well, Vance, he's becoming the aggressor, even though he didn't have much in hands.
All right, action's going to be on Mr. Kechelov with the button. And he is going to peek down at a Jack-Deuce offsuit.
Well, he's going to limp in and call on the button.
Coach has got a pretty good Queen 10 of clubs, and he says raise again. And he's going to take another one.
So don't stamp this victory yet. On the side of Eugene, it is not over. Ted Curley is going to fight him to the finish, Vince.
He is changing gears beautifully here. Can he come back and win this title and make one of the biggest upsets of the season and take home the $2.5 million? Stay tuned. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
Don't just watch the WPT, play the WPT.
Visit WPT on GSN.com. Welcome back to the WPT. We are at Bellagio for the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. Heads-up action continues. And right now we are seeing a nice comeback by the former coach from Michigan, Ted Curley. Eugene Kechelov, the 26-year-old out of New York, is the chip leader still with $17 million.
The largest regular season event in the history of poker. It's $3.7 million you see on the table that these two guys will be dividing up here. Incredible money. Well, the action's on the coach here. He's picked up a pretty nice hand. King Jack.
Raise 300.
And he's going to raise it, make it $380,000 to go.
Yeah, he's going to get aggressive again. Right behind him, Eugene, though, with a Jack 10.
He wants to see a flop with it, so he's made the call here. I think most players would, especially with his chip count. So right now, the coach has him dominated. It's King Jack versus Jack 10. Let's see what happens. Oh, what a flop for Eugene. It's come 10-6-3. Eugene Ketchalov has flopped top pair and checks. And here comes the coach making a continuation bet of $300,000 with the king high.
Yeah, Eugene set the trap. So far, it has worked. Getting the coach to bet out of line.
Those are $100,000 chips he's reaching for. Let's see how many of them he's going to pick up. Looks like 8 of them. He's going to make it $800,000 to go here. So it's a $500,000 raise to the coach.
Yeah, nice check and raise.
Well, now the coach just has king high.
I'm all in.
But look at this coach coming over the top, says all in.
All right, I call.
Unbelievable. The old coach going all in right here.
Eugene quickly calls it, though.
Well, Vince, I got to tell you, I think the coach has fumbled the ball here. Now the question is, can he recover it? If not, this tournament's going to be history. Game, set, and match to the 26-year-old. So the coach made his move with the king jack. He was quickly called by top pair by Eugene. Ted Curley is looking at about a 4th and 30.
4th and 30.
He's going to have to catch a king or 2 running cards to make a straight. Otherwise, he'll be heading back to Michigan. Well, once again, Eugene goes over to Nick Schulman. He's been a lucky rabbit's foot for him in the crowd there. Says, partner, you couldn't have done it much better than this. You're going to win this hand and win this tournament.
The Curly's sweating their husband, who's come so far in this event. He's a millionaire already. But the difference between second place and first place, about $1.3 million. What a difference.
Here comes the turn card.
2 cards to come. A jack comes on the turn, making 2 pair now for Eugene.
Well, it's still not over. A king will still win it for the coach, but that's the only card that he can win with now.
Well, he's got a 3-outer.
And if the old coach doesn't catch a king here, Eugene Ketchalov is going to be crowned king of this tournament.
Last card.
That's the deuce of hearts. Well, finally some emotion out of Eugene at this final table. He hugs the WPT champion, Nick Schulman. And the old coach over there has got to be pleased with his performance here this week. Eugene Ketchalov went wire to wire at this final table to win this tournament.
Eugene Ketchalov, $2.5 million richer. He is our champion.
Thank you.
Of the Doyle Brunson 5-Diamond Poker Classic from New York City, Eugene Ketchalov. For Vince Van Patten, Layla Cayley, Kimberly Lansing, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live and your pots be monsters.